Hello and welcome to another episode of the Fulfilled Musicpreneur podcast. I am gonna talk about how to monetize your unreleased music today. And I'm doing this because um, there's just been multiple conversations that I've had recently that helps me to know that lots of people could do with help in this area. Okay. Um, so I remember talking to a couple of friends. We are in a group together um, about our music. So each and every one of them are songwriters and musicians. And we were having a chat about um, releasing music. And one of them was talking about how she didn't have funds to release her music. And she was like, "Oh, that man, if she got £10,000 or $10,000, she will definitely release an album." And I was like, "Well, actually, and then what happens after? Because you finally somehow raise the money, $10,000. You release the album. What next? Because you need to have a plan. You need to have a plan for what you are going to do next. Otherwise, it'll just feel like you spent 10,000 and then crickets. Um, if you got investors to invest that money, you need to have a plan for how you're going to show them that it's reached the ends of the world. It was worth it. You're gonna have to have a plan. So even if you somehow raised the funds yourself, you have a family, you have a spouse, you have people that you answer to that you could have pretty much spent that money on, right? So what are you going to tell them if you don't have a plan and you just release the songs and they're not being streamed, or they are but just really really um not in a great way? What are you going to do? It's not just about releasing songs, it's not just about releasing music. It's the big picture, it's a journey, it's a marathon. So I want to talk about what you're going to do or what you can do right now if you have songs that you've written, okay, and you don't have money to release these songs yet, because there's a lot that you can do. And so that's what I'm going to focus on today. Okay. So one of the things that stop people from releasing their music is fear of, "Ooh, someone is going to steal it. Don't I need to um protect it? Don't I need to copyright it?" Things like that. And I'm like, yeah, sure, but that really shouldn't stop you from putting the song out there. That shouldn't stop you from doing something with the song right now, because these songs were most likely given to us not for ourselves to sit in our computers, or to sit in books, or to sit in our heads. They were given to us to be a blessing to the church. Okay. And until you release them and make them public, they're not blessing anyone. Okay. And until you do that, you are essentially blocking the flow of your creativity, because you have to put your songs out there. Otherwise, you stunt your creativity. You have to let them go. You have to write the songs and share them, write the songs and share them. There's been lots of people who have put their songs on YouTube and they're growing their audience. I remember watching a YouTube video. So one of my friends as well in my online community called Mary Ozaraga, she actually puts her songs on YouTube, and these are songs that have not yet been released. And I remember watching one of them once, and I was so moved. It was such a beautiful song. I think it was called Fly. So now she's actually released it, but there was a lesson that I learned from there. She didn't. I went on YouTube, watched it, and I was so blown away by the message of the song and by her performance of the song that I messaged her and said, "Oh my God, Mary, this song literally brought me to tears." And I actually brought her on my podcast and interviewed her. This was even before I had started to release episodes. It was a Facebook Live at the time, so I actually had a Facebook Live conversation with her that later I then uploaded onto my podcast. But do you see the reaction and the impact that you can have on someone just by videoing yourself performing your song and putting it on YouTube? It could be affecting lives that way. She already has grown her audience so much by doing what she does, because she does it consistently. She's not just releasing new songs, but she was putting the songs already on YouTube. There's lots of people that have been discovered because they put their song on YouTube. I think we really should have been worrying about people stealing our songs or stealing our ideas, because to me, that essentially is a lack of abundance mentality. That is not going to be your only song. There's going to be many, many more songs from where that came from. And to be honest with you, if you're not even releasing songs, then have you really started your music career? Like you haven't even started. You're worried about blowing up and someone stealing from you. I think that should be way down on your list, because you're not really making much of an impact yet until you start to release songs. And people, it's a marathon. Honestly, you're going to have to stick with it and keep going, keep going. I really think fear should be way down on the list. I remember a group recently. There's a group called Kane, and they blew up recently. I don't know how many of you. I'm sure many of you have heard their songs on TikTok. Actually, TikTok, Instagram. They sang this song. Whether it's a good day, best day, every day is a good day. So let me tell you why. You got blood in your hair. You got, you are a child of God. Come on and sing it. On a good day, I'm a child of God. On my best days, I'm a child of God. Oh, every day is a good day. So let me tell you why. I'm so blessed. I'm so blessed. Does that ring a bell to anyone? Because I love that song. And for a while, I kept hearing it over and over on Instagram. People remixing, people doing their own versions. But honestly, the reason I talk about Kane is because they had gotten to the point where they had almost quit. They literally were going to call it quits. And just as when they were going to do that, they won an award, like a K-Love award. And they came on stage like in tears, like saying, we were going to quit. We were going to quit. Now, these are people who they are amazing. Their band is amazing. Their sound is, I love them so much, but they were going to quit. So we haven't even started if you're not releasing music. But you're worrying and stopping yourself. Meanwhile, people who are actually doing it have to find the strength to keep going. Are you feeling me? I really wish people will just stop worrying about, oh, copyright, copyright, copyright. Just put your songs out there. Put it on YouTube. Start growing your audience. Talk to people. Talk about the story behind your song. Because, yes, Spotify, iTunes are streaming platforms, but YouTube is also a streaming platform. You can do it for free. I think we really should prioritize making an impact with our music because that's what we've been called to do. And if you're not sharing it, you're not impacting anyone. Okay? So, what things can you do with your music? Number one, you can put it on YouTube. Number two, you get exposure. As I said, I pulled Mary onto my podcast just from hearing her song on YouTube. There is so much that can happen when people come across your song on YouTube. Okay. Number three, you can monetize your music. I'm going to talk to you about how. So, these songs are essentially around a theme, around a topic, around a testimony, around a lesson you learned, right? What stops you from creating a product around those? A devotional, an ebook, a journal. You can do that. You can do that, direct people to listen to the song on YouTube and offer them a product around that. So, you are an artist, but you are also a business owner. And you have to start thinking about yourself that way. If you go back to the illustration I had at the very start of this episode, I was talking about what happened if you got funds to release an album and you didn't have a plan for what came next. You have to have a plan that makes your music production and your music career sustainable. You shouldn't raise 10,000 and then have to raise another 10,000 without getting anything coming in. So I think where many people leave it is they assume that there should be enough coming in from Spotify, royalties from, all of these royalties, but they don't really amount to much. And they might take ages. You can't rely on that. You have to start thinking of this as a business. And in a business, you have to have something you're offering to your customers. Then they buy, you take that money and create more products. Your music is only one way. It's only one way. You have to think of other things. You have to think of other things. Okay? So, in a couple of weeks, at the end of March, I am going to be running a challenge. And I want to talk to you about it because there's going to be things that you will learn that will help you to start to create offers around your music. I've called it Monetize Your Music in 3 days. The workshop is going to be 3 days, and I want you to leave those 3 days with a product that you can start to sell to people. So if you have music released on Spotify, wherever, then absolutely come. if you have music that is not yet released, you can still come because you can do lots with your music. Okay, so I'm going to put the link to sign up. I'm going to put that in the description below. I want to invite you guys to make some time, attend, come and start learning the skills that you need to run a sustainable music business. Over the last year, I've gone down the rabbit hole of learning how to run a business. And one of the things I've learned is that the way to become financially stable quickly is to have multiple products, multiple streams of income. Okay. I learned about things like speaking events where you can give keynote concerts. So you could go to conferences, speak about a theme that is related to the conference, and sing a couple of your songs around that theme. So this is essentially paid speaking, and people get paid thousands just to do that. Now, none of it comes easy. You have to train yourself. You have to practice. You have to know what you need to do. You need to be mentored. You need to be coached, but it is possible. So you can speak around the themes of your music and sing those songs. Okay. You can write ebooks. You can write journals. You can write devotionals. So, I mean, if you are a worship leader, you get on stage every Sunday or every time you have church service and you motivate people to worship. You can put that in a book, put that along with some of your worship music and offer it for a prize. I want to tell you that it is possible. I've actually done a course on this as well. That's going to be going on sale soon. I'm going to put the link down below for you to join the pre-order, the wait lists. But someone just listened to this course, right? And she said, AB, my mind is full of possibilities from the course. Full of possibilities. I think you just need to be open and willing. You need to be coachable. You need to be mentored because you can do a lot with your unreleased music. All right. I really hope what I've said has resonated. Well, apart from me singing the song that I didn't know the lyrics to. But yeah, I really hope what I've said has resonated because I've just had a couple of these conversations about, oh, I have some music. I don't know how to produce. I want to learn how to produce. Yeah, all of that is good. You can do it yourself. You can raise money. All of that is good. But those songs can be blessing people right now. I just thought I was going to do like an impromptu discussion around this. Just to get people's minds thinking, shifting. You need that mind shift. So I'm going to round it up here so I can start putting the links below. I've had a really long day working today. As you can see, I'm still wearing my scrubs. But I was like, oh, I'm just going to talk about this topic tonight instead of putting up an episode that was recorded really nicely for you. I'm just going to talk my heart out. Okay. Have a lovely week. Do sign up for the challenge. do sign up for the wait list for the course. I'll talk to you soon. Take care. Bye.